Hello, everyone. Yes, it's Grateful Wednesday, and I am here with my second interview for the day. This is another episode of Naked Talk with Dr. Auda, and I am excited to have my guest here. And just as we do in Naked Style, we will let our guest introduce himself and tell us a little bit about who he is, where he's from, where he practices, or whatever he wants to share, because this is Naked Talk with Dr. Auda, and we're going to keep it open and lively and possibly talk about things you do not expect. So if you have any questions, please post them on the comments. I will be able to ask my guests. Also, like, share with friends, because I'm sure this is going to get really naked here. We're going to get into the mind, which is so important for any successful venture, relationship, business, or otherwise. So without further ado, let's welcome to my show, Dr. Kelly Henry. He has two first names for we were just talking about that, but I'm going to call you Dr. Kelly. So welcome, Dr. Kelly. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it. So, although you opened up, I may take the whole time just telling you about myself. So I could be long-winded on it on occasion. But I'm Dr. Kelly Henry. I'm a chiropractor. I practiced for 20 years in the great state of New Mexico. I've now transitioned to coaching and consulting docs, chiropractors. My company is Relentless Coaching Systems. I'm the owner, founder, and president. I have recently moved to the Dallas-Fort Worth area with my wife and three kids, and we're just enjoying life, building a business up and working with docs, using the systems that I've developed over the almost 20 years of my practice to skyrocket my success. And I just want to give back to the profession, help the profession. I just feel like we're right on the doorstep of just helping, just getting more and more mainstream, more and more available, more and more notoriety, so to speak. And I want docs to be at the forefront to be able to tap into that. There's too many struggling docs out there, too many struggling chiropractors, and it shouldn't be that way. We should be the go-to physicians, the go-to docs in patients' lives. And too many docs, too many chiropractors are stuck in the pain mode, the insurance and healthcare mode, and just trying to drive new patients in, keep them for just a few visits, and then they're out the door, and they just have to struggle to get new patients and to make ends meet. It just shouldn't be that way. That is my goal, to help as many docs get out of that scenario, out of that hamster wheel, so to speak, and help them be more and more successful, enjoy life more, have more money, and really develop the practice that they deserve from choosing the great profession of chiropractic and chiropractors.
Well, I love that. It's a great mission. Hey, I feel we all need the help, the encouragement, and the reason I started this Naked TikToks is just so we can hear from different professionals and we can learn and apply tips that we can start using right away to make a bigger impact. Indeed, make more money, have a better lifestyle, be able to help the schools that are trying to make a difference, get more chiropractors everywhere, get more mission-based chiropractors are actually teaching what chiropractic is, so people do have a choice. At least they have an educated choice on if they want to choose chiropractic, yes or no, but at least they are exposed to it in the right way. And I just had an amazing talk with Dr. Chandel. We were talking about all the things and how a lot of the success is in your mind, and the relationships that we have with the money and our spouses and everything will definitely transcribe to our businesses. So we have to have closer relationships with businesses. And in that, yeah, I know, right? In that note, I want to ask you, because obviously you're around struggling chiropractors or struggling people in their businesses. What do you think is the one thing that they're lacking, or the thing that they need to be able to work the most first before they can start seeing results, so they can start making a change in their practice and their lives?
Yeah, great question. And to kind of piggyback off of what you just talked about. One of my core pieces in my coaching is to work on the mindset. And that's actually a big part of why a lot of docs are struggling, is just their mindset is in a negative spiral, basically. And being a chiropractor can be tough. I've been there. I struggled. And when you get in that negative mindset, you tend to perpetuate it, and you've got to get out of it if you want to grow and expand and really achieve the success you want. And so that's a big piece of what I work with docs. First and foremost, is just get their minds into a positive mindset. And like you said, that filters back into family life and community life and just all areas. So we want to set that straight. The second component, and what I found that docs really struggle with, like I mentioned before, is they just get in this hamster wheel of marketing and getting new patients in, but they just don't have the processes and the procedures to educate, to communicate properly the chiropractic message. And it's not necessarily because they don't understand it. It's just because they need to pay the bills and they haven't been taught correctly. Chiropractic school is great, but it doesn't teach you business, and it doesn't teach you how to apply, or what you learn in chiropractic school to get through clinic does not apply to when you get out on your own in business. And nothing against chiropractic schools, but that's just a reality. And so they need those processes and procedures so they can start taking care of their patients and helping those patients understand that they need more than just pain relief for their care, and how important regular chiropractic is and lifetime chiropractic and all those principles that we all know. And once we get those two things settled, the mindset right, the positive mindset, and get that flow and get the processes and procedures set in their practice, then we can start marketing.
Yeah.
And start pushing those new patients in, and then you keep those new patients. And I got to the point in my practice where I didn't market to new patients whatsoever, because it was so referral based. The only people I marketed to were my patients that had slipped through the cracks, that weren't seeing anymore, that we needed to recall, and that's all I ever did. And that's a good place to be. We had basically a wait list for new patients coming into the practice, and it was all referral based. And that's where every chiropractor should be.
Well, I love that. Obviously, I'm all into mindset. I do relationship coaching, but I do individuals only. And we start with your mind. Where's your mind at? It's not the outside, and it's not everything you do. Just like with chiropractic, all the patches that you do for your healthcare is, let's get to the core first. And I feel the core is the mindset, and then we can build from there. Then you can have the right mindset in order to apply the systems that you're talking about, and then keep it that way, and then attract those patients that are going to get your systems and the staff, and so on and so on and so on. So I guess you started right up my alley. Yeah, I would say this wrong. If my kids or my mom listens to this, it's so important that where our mind is at, that's what we're going to attract. That's what we can build from, and especially in chiropractic, or with chiropractors. And I've been doing mission trips for 10 years. So I've been around lots of chiropractors and chiropractic students. And we're just lacking that confidence, that belief that we indeed have this gift to give out to the world. And it's not about doing all this marketing. It's about working on yourself so you're confident enough in order to be able to spread it out, and then get all the systems that you can get, apply them, put them to use, and then they can work for you. Just like instead of the hamster wheel, the wheel is actually moving the train forward. So I think that is terrific. In your experience coaching chiropractors, what do you think is the biggest mindset block that you encounter?
The blame game.
Mm-hmm.
That, just like you mentioned, and the nature of the title of your information, getting naked, you got to get naked and be real with yourself. Mm-hmm. And when you're blaming And docs do this, they're going to blame the staff, they're going to blame the patients, they're going to blame the weather, they're going to blame the insurance companies, they're going to blame, whatever and whoever for their lack of success. And what it boils down to is no. The only person you have to blame or can blame is yourself. And it's me. It's all me. And so that's one of the first things we start with. Okay. You have to take 100% responsibility for everything that's going to happen from here forward. So let's look at yourself. Let's look at your mindset. It's nobody else's fault but yours. Let's get naked with it, like you would say.
I
Let's get
love
real
it.
with it and
Yeah.
lay that foundation, and then we can start building from there.
Yeah, and if you can see where the root of those blames, and you can see how your expectations of others doesn't even match what you're giving out. We were just talking that a naked man cannot lend a shirt to somebody that needs it. You do not own it. You don't even have one yourself. So how dare you expect something you do not even own or have mastered? And sometimes we tend to fall in this. I've been guilty, hence all
I
the
have
things
to.
that I teach is because I've been guilty of it.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
have learned through all the roads in my life and the bumps. And that
I
just,
speak from a lot of experience. Most of everything I
yeah,
teach is it's probably 95% of the experiences that I've been through and
It's,
had to learn
it's the
from.
only way. We can only
Exactly.
teach what we own, right? We can only be what we really own. And when it comes to that blame game, I just love that because you have to get real. It's your responsibility. No, the teacher can teach you, but it's not going to make you pass the test. The healthcare can give you advice, but you're the only one that's going to follow it,
Right.
and so on and so on. It all comes from you, and then it will come to you. So it's
Oh, I
very,
like
very.
that. That's
I
good.
mean, the master circle. I remember being coaching with them a long time back in the days. I'm a student of Larry Marson. So for those, hi Larry. Here's your student preaching. So yes, it comes. You have to be in order to do, in order to have. So be, do,
Amen.
have game, and I think that is just so important. And on the game naked, obviously, yes, we are stripping down the layers because if we don't get to our core, we cannot rebuild from where we need to. We cannot then,
Exactly.
we can put so many, I feel that a lot of coaches put a lot of the systems, you have to do this, you have to say this, you have to do, oh my God, if the person that is doing and seeing that and saying that, it doesn't change, nothing is going to change around it, but just
Exactly.
a new script that you're going to say without even meaning it, without understanding what you're saying and without believing. How can you say or preach something you don't even believe yourself? Same goes for affirmations.
That's
We have to be it. So yeah, I love this.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love what you're talking about. We're on the same page, obviously. So
Yeah, we're
that's one of the pieces of my coaching is I'm not about scripting. And here, say this in your report of finding, or here, say this in your consultation exam. There's pieces that, yeah, we need to utilize because those are important pieces of the puzzles for most of the docs. But, I want to give the docs the freedom to be themselves, to communicate how they want to communicate and not feel like a robot just spitting out a script because the patients see right through that. And again, most of the docs are not comfortable with that, and it doesn't feel right. And so again, we want to get that core and get them positive and start working in that they can be successful. Let's use these pieces, make it your own, communicate how you want to communicate, um, and then you become that attractive force that, like you said, you're being and you're doing, and then you're attracting
you
people, and
have.
then you start having.
Right. I feel that you have to just get so detailed with what you really, really want, or what is the message you want to put across, or you want to, how is it that you want to practice? If we're talking about practicing, right? You just get so detailed that you develop your own mission statement, and then you can tweak the systems into that mission statement because we're all more alike than we're different, but we're all different, and you got to
Exactly.
put your juice in there because I know nobody can be Aura for sure. Nobody is as crazy as me. So, but it is my world, so I create my way. And there's no such a thing as a good way, the right way, or the no way, but you can tweak it along. And that comes with details and work and disciplines. So, with that said, what are some of the disciplines you have used in your life that have worked, but it's like a daily habit that you wouldn't go without. Like for me, it's like I haven't finished getting out of the bed and I'm making the bed and I'm checking on my thing and I'm writing on my journal. There's some things that I don't miss no matter what, no matter where I'm at, no matter how I feel. What are some of the disciplines that have helped you get to where you are?
Great question. Basically four things. And I haven't done this in the entirety of my life, but over the last, I don't know, several years, think back how far, but there's four things that I've utilized that just accelerated my success even more than I had. First thing is I get up early every morning, have a little devotional, reading prayer, and that starts my day first bit. Second thing is I read 30 minutes.
My devotional with my
amen.
journal.
There you go. I read 30 minutes, either inspirational, motivational, or educational every morning. That's the second thing I do. Third thing I do is I write my goals down. I have my spiral notebook and I list out my goals. As I'm, obviously I'm writing them and reading them at the same time. And then the fourth thing I do, I have another spiral notebook that I call it my gratitude journal. Just put the date down and then whatever I'm thankful, grateful for, blessed by, blessed with, I make sure I list that first and foremost, because there's way more stuff in my life that I'm blessed with or I'm grateful for than the negative. So I want to immediately focus on that, or put my mind in that mindset of being grateful and thankful and know I'm blessed. I know what I'm blessed with every morning before I start my day. So.
Oh, I love those 4 points. And I think obviously I'm very, very biased to your fourth one because I feel when we're in a grateful state and we accept our reality, we gotta first accept it and be grateful about it before we can change it. Because if you're like, no, I mean, I'm too fat, I'm ugly, you gotta love and accept what you have before you can change. And being grateful is such an amazing energy and fuel to get that done. So yeah, the grateful journal for me is my devotional, my grateful journal, my goals journal. Goals is something a step I do later for the goals for the day. But I always read my goals too and my mission towards my life. And I love that I just spoke to Dr. Sean and Lazy, and they have a mission statement for their relationship. So they are both working on the same path to reach the same goal, but they are both honoring their goals individually before they build this mission together, so they can then strive to push along and do what they can, so they do not jeopardize each other's individual vision and mission. So I love that.
That's awesome.
On that note, what is the one thing that you would say has kept you on mission? Or besides your daily rituals that you do in the morning, is there anything else that just keeps you centered? Or shall we say, as Dr. Ed will say, what is your why?
Just keeping the attitude of serving. It really keeps me on mission and on task, so to speak. Just making sure, when I was in my office and I was practicing, that was one of the things that when numbers dipped and things were getting off, boy, it was time to recheck that. Am I focusing on serving these patients? Because that's what I'm there for. They are not there for me. I am there for them to serve them and take care of them. And so as I transitioned into coaching, same thing. I'm still helping patients. I'm just doing it through, obviously my clients and the docs that I'm working with. So make sure I keep that mindset of serving them. How can I help them? What do they need? Again, I'm not there for them, or they're not there for me. I'm there for them, and make sure I stay grounded on that, in that mind frame of serving. And that keeps me on course quite well.
Oh, well, I love that. Obviously, service is what gets me to do this naked talks, even when on my days off or mission trips for the last 10 years. It's like nobody's paying me to do any of this, obviously, but I just do it because I'm passionate about serving our community, chiropractors, chiropractic students, and the lay people to just step up. And if they can get just one naked tip out of it, then my time has been worth it here. So
that's what's drawn me to you, and we've crossed paths a little bit as far as through some of our coaching and whatnot. But you can see that in everything you do. You just have that service mindset. And,
Well,
I want to be, I want to be in tune with like-minded people. So I
yeah.
really am honored to be on the show with
Well,
you. And
it's wonderful to meet you in this format. I usually, when I started these interviews, I wasn't interviewing anybody I had not met personally because this is just such an interesting chat, and it's not scripted just for and it's just random here. So, and I just started recently doing people that because I've been contacted, please interview me. So I'm like, okay, so I'll get to know you at the same time, and then I feel like we're all family in this naked world we live in. So,
Amen.
so it's all good. So, in just one question that popped to mind because
Okay.
obviously it's just I do this when I do this. It's just whatever questions pop to mind. Those are the things that I ask. Sometimes they
You're good
don't
at
make
this.
sense. So I always apologize to my viewers because I'm very naked when it comes to this. Do you miss being in practice?
You know what? That's a great question. I've been asked that a few times. Um, I ran a high volume practice, 400 plus patients a week, and so it was taking its toll on my body. I had diversified Thompson, so my shoulders, arms, and upper back, it was starting to wear on me, and so I don't necessarily miss adjusting, but I absolutely miss the interaction with the patient, the successes, a lot of what I did too is I just loved encouraging patients and as as you're in practice, they come to you with, my dog died or, problems and issues that, you can sympathize with, give them a hug, make them feel welcome, make them feel like you care. I do miss that aspect of it, just not having that daily interaction with the patients.
Yeah, well, I feel that that is what keeps me. I love the interaction. I hate the paperwork and staffing sometimes gets to my but hey, I'm being honest here. I expect you to be honest, so I will be
I've been
honest
there, done that.
myself.
I understand.
So,
That,
so
that, that
yeah.
was the worst thing in practice. I could
Oh
treat
my
patients all
Lord.
day long, but dealing with staff,
Yeah,
that was a
it's like
whole
just
ball
remove
game.
the patients. I don't want to deal with anything. I'm moving more towards cash practice. So yeah, because
Now, if I could interject something, if some of my staff, old staff, sees this, the staff members I had my last year in practice were phenomenal. Best staff I had in almost 20 years of practice. So I got to give some kudos to them. It's just amazing when you have a good staff, how much stress that relieves. So you can just completely focus on patients and the serving aspect of it. So
yeah, and it could be
kudos
so
to them.
much fun. Yes, yes. Well, props to all the CAs out there. Props to everybody that makes, that makes a difference in this world because they are saving lives too. The more
They are.
awesome they are up front, the more lives are saved. And sometimes they take a bigger role than we ever take in our 30-second round of adjustment, right? So
Absolutely.
I honestly love good staff. I think you are there and you don't know how significant and how amazing you are. So cheers to all the staff out there.
Absolutely. And I love that you mentioned that because I preach to my staff that it's not me taking care of the patient's health. It's all of us. And they have as much, if not more of an impact on the patient's health than I did. So
It is so
when the patient
true.
walks in being welcomed and bubbly and the smiles on the staff faces, that makes a world of difference. So it is
It is
important.
so very true.
It is.
And what would be one like the hardest lesson you ever had to learn in practice? And what would be do you have any regrets? Do you have any major lessons that you want to share with the audience? It's okay to not have any regrets. I honestly feel that there's no regrets, at least in my life. I have learned so much from my mistakes that I don't even call them
Um,
my mistakes. But maybe, everybody's different. I don't expect people to have my same mindset. So, what would be one lesson or the biggest thing that you had to learn through struggle that you can share with the audience? Because I feel we all learn from other people, and when we share a struggle, we bless others.
you bet. Like you said, I don't look at I don't have regrets. I don't, everything that happened for a reason. And as long as you learn from it, make corrections, do things differently, then I do not regret um, the issues I've had, the decisions I've made. My philosophy in my life is the best is always yet to come. So I'm still growing, I'm still learning, and I'm still getting better. So I'm just going to continue that. Um, as a lot of docs, one of the things that it was a huge reality check, like a lot of docs coming out of school. And I got out of school, I found a place, rented space with some docs, and thought that, okay, I'm here. I'm going to start seeing 500 patients a week, in about 20 minutes. They're going to flock to me like that, and that's not the reality. Reality is, you got to get out there, you got to get known, and you got to do the work. And so, getting out of school, it's called commencement when you graduate. You're commencing the start of your career, and it means start taking action and getting to work. That being said, if I could have done something different, I would have hired a coach immediately coming out of school. I practiced for 5 years before finally getting with a management group and a coach, and that, obviously turned my practice around and set me on a completely different course. So I wish I would have, and I probably did know. I was probably just too ignorant to, and saying that I could do it on my own. I should have known better and just hire a coach right out and learn from those who've made the mistakes, learn from those who know from experience. Saves you a lot of time, a lot of trouble. You'll make a lot more money quicker. It's not, in coaching, and this, Doc, coaching is not an expense. It is an investment. The sooner you realize that, and the sooner you take hold of that, the more successful you'll be, and in changing not only your practice, but really the nature of your life a lot of times.
Yeah, I definitely believe in coaching. I've done it most of my career, and I think it's just primal. It's just like if you're expecting the patient to invest 6 months of care in one of your care plans, and you don't expect yourself to invest in your own, right? You think, oh no, I just went to school, that's more than enough. I love their schools, and I support so many. We were talking about Sherman. I'm going to be speaking at Lyceum, and it's an amazing school. I graduated from Life, also great schools. But we have to teach kids business, money.
Exactly.
Like, how are you going to get out there? Yes, you have passion, you have skill to do an adjustment. Your philosophy is right. Now put it to work. And that is so important.
Well,
So
and going back to what I said about the schools, I didn't mean to diss the schools because they're great, and they're heavily regulated, and they've got to teach what they have to teach. But like you just said, it's
no, they're great.
There's the clinical skills and the chiropractic skills and the doctor skills, but you've got to equally know the business side of things. Otherwise, it's tough.
This goes for everything, including I have 2 teenage kids, and I wish instead of calculus AP that my daughter is taking and all these AP courses that I'm like, I'm like, just learn about life, learn about to communicate face to face, learn about marketing, learn about business, learn about handling money without a calculator.
Yeah. Although that's part of the reason I became a chiropractor, because there was no algebra involved in it. So I steered me that direction.
Honestly, I became a chiropractor. I don't even know, because it found me, it saved my life, but I hated the sciences. So I just jumped through the hoops to get to where I wanted to get to. But the passion drove me forward, because honestly, I was bad at all of it. And I'm not sure how I made it into chiropractic school, but I never failed a course, and that's a miracle. But I think passion drives you, but we have to have the common sense. And sometimes what a coach can do is just put that passion and the common sense and some tools to then propel you into the direction of your dreams and goals. And I love that, because obviously I am coaching as well, and I coach on relationship matters, and now having my one-day naked experience here in Miami, March 16th. So you should come down too, and just to strip down all these layers that just block us from actually putting those action steps that we know that we want to do in order to create the life. But we have to remove change our reality, because if you do not remove the lies, you cannot see the reality, you cannot accept it, you cannot love it, be grateful for it, in order to then learn the tools and the systems that are going to get you to where you want to get to. Sometimes we think we want to get somewhere, but we just haven't done the work to even know if we want to. And I think a coach can help you do that kind of a work.
Exactly. That, as a coach, you're just a second set of eyes that, you know, that you get in a routine. Docs get in a routine. They get in a certain mindset. They just can't see past that. Have somebody external look at their situation, look at what's going on, look at, and listen to how they're talking and what they're speaking about, and say, okay, this is what you're telling me. This is what's going on. You know, here's what you need to do to break out of that. And it's just invaluable to have that aspect from a coach's point of view.
Yeah, different set of perspective.
Exactly.
Definitely, definitely. I love it because it's all how we see things and it's all how we process it, right? Because well, I feel one of the biggest mistakes that we chiropractors do is that we expect patients to see things like for how we see it. And that is, and that happens in chiropractic studies and chiropractic groups and seminars and everything else. We try to project how what we believe or what we know to be true into somebody else. And that's where the bickering or the disappointment comes through, then becomes resentment, then becomes a weight, and becomes another reason to get naked. Cheese. So, so it's just I feel that just respecting other people's perspective and then educating them so they can come to conclusion to their own perspective will help them make the best choices for themselves because they're actually responsible for their own health or their own happiness. Right? That happens a lot in relationships. We expect a man to make us women happy. And that is just so wrong, ladies. Ladies, please. Ladies and gentlemen, please. Remove that from your expectation panel and don't have any freaking expectations in the first place, but remove that and you will be happier right away. Hey, that's a naked tip you can start using now.
That's good stuff. I should pay you for that.
Yeah, I know. I look like I'm kind of naked, but I'm not naked. It's just very hot here. And I had to change from my first interview. I had a black shirt. And I was dying. So yes, I'm not naked, just so you know. But I'm trying to get naked here and tell you that it does come from you. And yes, so on this note, and we are getting to close up our show, can you share with our audience where they can find you? How can they reach you? Anything you want to end up the show with? So
absolutely. So well, I thank you for the opportunity, Dr. Otto, and again, getting to know you and following you and seeing your stuff. You're just tremendous force for chiropractic and just for people in general. So I really appreciate and I'm honored for you to allow me this time. You can find me at relentlesscoachingsystems.com. That's my website. And you can schedule a strategy session with me if you'd like to talk about practice, what's going on, your goals, your dreams. I can give you some strategies generally immediately that can help you. You can implement and just take off from there. Or if we want to go forward with coaching with me, we can work that out too. Also, I have a closed Facebook group. It's called the Relentless Crew, and it's open to chiropractors. So all you have to do is go to Facebook and apply to get in. As long as you're a chiropractor, we'll let you in. And it's really a forum for docs to share, to ask questions. You can put your own information in. I post regularly, obviously, but that's another great way to get to see what I'm about and some of my philosophies, basically. So those are the two main ways you can get in touch with me and see who I am and what I'm about.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And you're definitely going to post those links here and add me to your group right away. And yes, this has been another great episode of Get Naked with Dr. Auda. And I had my guest, Dr. Kelly, with me. We share a lot of great information. So please be so kind to like, to comment, to share with others that can be of benefit. And we are going to put both links, all your links right here in the comments. Please do that right after the show. As well, I'm going to put my link for my one-day Get Naked experience here in Miami, March 16th. If you feel stuck and you cannot get unstuck to reach your dreams and you want to go through personal one-on-one coaching from me in order to create your true vision and purpose and reach for the stars and reach those goals in 2019 that you keep putting every single January for New Year's resolution, then this is the one-day experience for you. I promise you it will be life-changing and probably one of the last times I do it live because it's becoming an online product. So I recommend you check it out.
Take advantage.
Yes, take advantage. Put those links right here. And again, thank you so much for being here, Dr. Kelly. Thank you
Thank
to
you, Dr. Otto.
everyone that hello, Shelly, Alba, everybody that commented. Thank you so much for watching and for helping me express my passion and purpose. And if you know anybody else I should be having on my naked TikTok, please comment below or message me. I'm always available. So you guys go and do something awesome. Have yourself a blessed day. Ciao. Yes.